Man, what a week, what a time, what a weekend. I know my heart has been very heavy over the last couple weeks, and I've just kind of been very observant. I'm a person who asks a lot of questions, and I like to hear all different sides and perspectives. I believe it's so important. I think most people just want to be heard, and what I'm observing right now is we ain't really hearing anything that ain't in alignment with what we feel at this moment. It's a very real moment, very passionate moment. So, I when I saw this quote for my morning motivation, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna share this with the people. It says, "We are made stronger by the difficulties we face, not by those we evade." I'll say it again. We are made stronger by the difficulties we face, not by those we evade. Right now, we're facing a beast head on. Confrontation is here. The resistance is necessary. The pain and anger and frustration is real and warranted, and change must happen. And all of this will make us stronger and better as a people, but we have to be smart, y'all. We have to listen to each other and each other's perspectives because look, no movement is one-sided. There's many ways to force and create change. So just remember that times like this make us stronger. We can't evade it. We can't run away from it. We can't walk away from it. We can't ignore it. But we got to be smart about it. And I implore everybody to be careful about the bots that you're fighting with on Twitter, because I guarantee you a lot of y'all are fighting back and forth with people. You don't know who's behind those accounts. Be careful with how much you expose yourself to in these times, because that overexposure of seeing this stuff over and over and over again is not healthy for your mental, for your spiritual. I spent this weekend, yesterday, I took my grandmother, I was in DC, I took my grandmother flower shopping. She wanted to go flower shopping. So we hung out, me, my mom, and my grandma. And it was so refreshing. It was a breath of fresh air at a time where the theme is I can't breathe, rest in paradise to George Floyd. And my heart goes out to his family and his loved ones and his friends and everybody that is just feeling this. But again, like, part of us being stronger, part of us growing together is understanding that there is going to be no one way. There's no one way to do anything. And that if we stop and respect each other enough to listen to each other, to absorb what each other is saying. And, as Michael Eric Dyson, he was on the show earlier, he said, look, pick the group that you're aligned with the most. If it's the group that's protesting, go with that group. If it's the group that's out here going the political route, making sure everybody votes, go that route. But we don't have to tear each other down because I don't like your approach or your approach is not my approach. That ain't it, y'all. So, I think as we continue through, we got a long ways to go. But again, we are made strong by the difficulties we face, not by those we evade. We must face this head on. And more importantly, we must face it together. Because I truly believe that ultimately, even when I see all the differences of opinion, it's like everybody's trying to get to the same place. Everybody is trying to get to the same goal, but the approaches vary. And I think that's okay. But I just encourage everybody who has a heavy heart, a heavy spirit, much like I have, to just be real careful about how much of this you're taking in and absorbing in your mental and in your heart, because it'll bring you all the way down. And I can't tell you how grateful it felt picking flowers with my grandmother and hanging them up on her front porch. And it's the little things right now that keep me in a place of continuing, like just feeling like, okay, we're in it. And I love to see the passion. I love to see the like, what do we got to do? And I want us to keep that same energy for these elections, keep that same energy for whatever comes next, because we got to keep the momentum going. So I'm Angie. That's your morning motivation on the Morning Hustle Show. Confrontation. How you gonna handle it? Either way, you got to handle it. All right.
We are the Morning Hustle.